The Carolina Panthers are starting to make Bank of America Stadium feel like a real home field advantage. The Panthers are now 2-0 at home this season, showing real progress under head coach Dave Canales. Now the defense has tightened up in those key moments, and rookie contributions on both sides of the ball have made a big difference. The Panthers have found a rhythm, playing with energy, discipline, but also confidence in front of their home fans. And they also hope to build on that home momentum this Sunday.
I mean, the goal is to win the home game, so that's what we want to get to. We want to win all the games, but right now we're trying to win the home game. So, that's one of the things we're just trying to get to.
I think guys just, I don't know, it's something about protecting the bank. That's one of the things we always said since I've been here. And this year, that's what we've been doing. So, we're just going to try to keep it going this upcoming Sunday. It's fun. It's fun to win at home. It's fun to win at home, especially with your brothers. And for the fans as well, whenever they come pack out the bank, you want to give them a good show and give them something to celebrate and, have a good Sunday evening. So whenever we win, it make the whole day better.
Now, a huge boost in protecting the home turf is having a healthy roster. Now, the Panthers, they may have to lean on more of those young pieces if they want to win against Dallas this Sunday. Now, Friday's injury report came out, and it does have some big names out, including Chuba Hubbard with that calf injury. Starting tackle Taylor Moton is out with an elbow injury. Turk Wharton is also out with a toe injury, but not all bad on that injury report. Tight end JT Sanders was able to practice this week, and he's questionable to return this Sunday, and so is Shaw Smith-Wade. And a big weapon for Bryce Young, Jalen Coker, is also questionable to return as he was coming back from that quad injury. Now, Charlotte FC may be off from match play this weekend, but one player on the roster is scoring in a big way. 21-year-old forward Eden Tolwalaki has earned himself a spot on the MLS 22 under-22 list for this season. Now, this list highlights the best young talent across the league, and Tolwalaki sits at number 3, which actually marks as the highest ranked player on the list in club history. Now, in 29 matches this season, Tolwalaki has scored 11 matches and actually leads with 4 assists. So definitely making a huge mark on this team this season, and hope to keep that going into postseason play next. So.
Shout out to both teams. Have a great evening, everyone.
Injured in a car accident, need a hero and a sidekick? Call Campbell and Associates today.
There was a time when the Blue Ridge Mountains burst into color, when falling leaves glowed crimson and gold, and the cool breeze reminded us to slow down and take it all in. There was a time when nature's beauty was the main event, paired with the beauty that grew within every connection and golden memory shared together. It was a vibrant time. It was fall, this fall at Biltmore. Plan your visit or overnight stay today.
What's under your home can get into your home. A sealed crawl space keeps out moisture, mold, and pests. Canty Foundation Specialist is your local trusted expert in crawl space sealing. Call us today for your free estimate.
Canty can fix it.
Hendrick. Your vehicle can get you from A to B.
But why stop there?
We want to see it go from A to Z.
Servicing your vehicle with Hendrick
extends the life of your vehicle.
It's a fact.
Want to know another fact?
We'll do your road-ready maintenance for free.
Saving you time and money.
Keeping you on the road and not on the side of it.
We know you need your car.
You should get the most out of it.
Make sure it's road-ready.
All good road trips start here.
Book your road-ready appointment today at HendrickCars.com.
Here's to deserving more. More fangirling over sound you can feel. More wow. Love this look for you. More play. Tell mom it's tumble tested. More reason not to get up. More what? More mess-free. Hide pillows, snacks, up to you. Yup, more of this feeling behind everything we do. Because deserving more is deserving better. More style, more quality, more value. We are Value City Furniture.
We're going to need something with our pizza to make it more,
desirable?
Yes.
Hi everyone, and welcome to WCNC's Weather Impact Live Weather Impact, the show where we go a little bit more in depth into the forecast. Thanks for being with us. I'm meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees. Today was a fantastic day here in Charlotte. In fact, temperatures, while they only reached the upper 60s and lower 70s, and it was cloudy for the majority of the day, I mean, that has left us with a vibrant sunset. In fact, right now, this is actually such a great sunset that I'm going to take a picture of this so I can post it after live weather impact here. It's really interesting to see how vibrant the sunset is right now. Big reason why is we have some clouds, of course, mixing in with the sunshine. Remember that when you have a mostly cloudy sunset like this one, oftentimes the reason why the color is so vibrant is it has more ice crystals, more water droplets to bounce off of because of the cloud cover itself. So don't ever let someone tell you that a mostly cloudy sky can't make for a really nice sunset, because that is certainly not the case. Now, again, today, the majority of the day it was cloudy, but sun finally starting to peek through the clouds. It was also breezy today. We saw a peak wind gust here in Charlotte around 25 or so miles an hour. I would anticipate this to stay pretty similar within the next hour or two, and then winds will start to die down ever so slightly overnight. Think wind gusts closer to 20 miles an hour versus 25, and then we'll be in a very similar spot heading into tomorrow morning. It's very common for winds to, of course, die down overnight because everything kind of dies down overnight and then eventually picking back up by tomorrow. Big reason why, of course, is this area of low pressure mixed with the frontal boundary we've been talking about for days now. Now, right now, the actual low itself is just east of the state of Florida, but eventually it's lifting northward and merging essentially with the stalled cold front, bringing us worser conditions here in the Carolinas heading into the second half of the weekend. Now, here in the Queen City, we are not going to see many of the same conditions that other parts, of course, of the Carolinas are going to see. Here's essentially how it happens. You can see Futurecast. The low pressure system essentially attaches itself to the stalled front, merges together, and eventually becomes a nor'easter. Now, with the nor'easter itself, remember that this gets its name because of the way the winds are moving. So when the winds are coming in from the north and northeast, that's where it gets the official name of a nor'easter itself. On top of that, because of the positioning here, notice Monday morning with the storm itself right near the parts of the Outer Banks here, it's the northeasterly wind that's pushing the water inland, which also impacts how much overwash these areas near the Outer Banks are going to get. So Outer Banks overwash of 3 to 5 feet. Remember, this is essentially like storm surge, right? It's the water that's coming inland. And these areas have been impacted a lot so far this summer. In fact, I guess it's technically fall now, but just summer and fall. What's interesting is that we've actually only had one official landfall, and that was Chantal, and it was in South Carolina as a tropical storm the weekend of 4th of July. But with all these storms just off the coast, that's one of the reasons why we've seen a lot of these impacts. Now, I will remind people it's not abnormal for our coastal communities, especially the Outer Banks, to see impacts like this, but with a warmer ocean, just classic science here. Warmer water expands because it takes up more surface area. That's because the molecules are bouncing off of each other more rapidly when the water is warm, similar with the air compared to cold water or cold air. So it just expands. So it takes up more room in general. And then on top of that, with more strong storms like rapid intensification from, for example, Hurricane Erin, that's another reason why, again, these impacts can be worse, because if a storm is stronger, oftentimes the impacts even far from the center can be worse as well. So here's the Futurecast wind gusts. We'll see places like Charleston seeing their highest winds right around midday tomorrow. Eventually places like Wilmington and Hatteras, it starts closer to Saturday night and into very early Sunday morning. I think peak wind gusts for some of those Outer Bank communities around 50 or so miles an hour. Here in Charlotte, closer to 25 on Saturday, about 30 on Sunday. But even places like Fayetteville on Sunday morning could see tropical storm force winds that far inland, because even though this nor'easter is pulling away quickly, that quick movement, of course, allows for lots of pressure differences and lots of pressure gradients too. So nor'easter facts, this is kind of how you classify them. It's a low pressure system. It's got to be on the East Coast. The winds coming in from the north and east. And of course, we get the strongest ones in winter and into spring. Again, doesn't mean we can't get them this time of year. But if you think back to the nor'easter, which was the superstorm of 1993, of course, that is one of the most famous ones here in the southeast. That happened, of course, during winter if not early spring, since it was the early part of March. Okay, let's talk local impacts if you live here in Charlotte. Lots of cloud cover heading into tomorrow morning. Saturday, right around 11 o'clock, we'll start to see some light rain trying to move into our southeastern communities. I want to remind people that I've been trying literally, because when the rain falls from the sky, even if it's moist there, remember it has to oftentimes go through a dry column of air during the fall that's closer to the ground. And so with this being said, it's going to create the first batch of rain to evaporate and be what's called virga. So again, that's when the rain falls from the cloud and it encounters air that's too dry, so it evaporates before it reaches the ground. So in Charlotte, I think the drizzle itself will be starting right around 1 to 2, but I wouldn't anticipate we've seen enough time to really see the air saturate itself until closer to 7. And what I mean by that is if the storm itself, let's say, was a downpour really quickly, it would evaporate and it'd be gone. But because this will be hours and hours of light rain trying to fall, eventually the air will get enough moisture in it for this rain to actually reach the ground. So it'll start as virga, eventually becoming drizzle, light rain, and even some moderate showers Sunday morning before conditions do improve by Sunday afternoon. I still think we'll see some light rain Sunday afternoon, but it won't be quite as bad as Sunday morning. Now let's talk accumulation of rain. It's not going to be much. We're looking at a maximum probably of a half of an inch here in Charlotte, most likely a quarter to about a tenth of an inch, but anything at this point is much, much needed. All right, let's talk something that is not related to this nor'easter, the tropics. We still have Tropical Storm Jerry. It's still heading away from us. No issue for us or Bermuda, as it's going to stay east of the island. If you were with us last night, Karen formed in the Atlantic Basin. In fact, it was the furthest storm to form the furthest north and northeasterly storm to ever form in the Atlantic Basin, of course, since record keeping began. So that's a really interesting note. A lot of this is likely because of warm ocean waters in that area. So Jerry's off the list, Karen's off the list. Next storm name, if we get another one before the end of the season, double fingers crossed that doesn't happen, but it would be Lorenzo. Quick update here on what's happening in the mountains. This is the perfect time to go ahead and try to see some of those leaves at 4,000 feet and above. Right now is the peak. Right now, pretty much in over the next 2 weeks. So here's some of that current fall color. You can, of course, see the areas in red, the areas in high. I did speak to a professor of biology at App State, Dr. Howard Neufeld, about this, and actually that's over on our website, WCNC.com, as well as probably here on WCNC Plus 2. And same thing, he said, if you're going to the high country, 4,000 feet and above, now to the next 2 weeks is the best time to go. So we're going to wrap up here this update on live weather impact with local forecasts and a local 7-day. As we look at the Jerry Hunt Super Center 7-day forecast, I'm going to step off for a second so you guys can see Saturday and Sunday. I can see my laptop's covering that a little bit. I apologize for that. So tomorrow, we're looking at breezy conditions, highs in the upper 60s, lower 70s, very similar to today, but we'll see a small chance of rain in the evening. Again, you know the best chance of rain Sunday is in the morning, and then conditions really couldn't get better heading into the middle part of next week. We'll have lows back in the 50s, highs back near 80 degrees by Tuesday and Wednesday. Have a great weekend.